Imagine the greatest player in the world. Now imagine he was almost cut from his team at age 13 because his body stopped growing. That actually happened. And somehow, that kid became the reason an entire country cried tears of joy at the World Cup. So what actually makes Messi so good? Not the highlight real answer. The real answer. The stuff that nobody explains properly. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why football experts, players, and coaches consider Messi the greatest of all time, even if you've never watched a single football match in your life. Let's start with something that sounds simple but will completely change how you see him. Messi is short. Like, surprisingly short. He's only 5'7". In a sport where most elite players are 6 feet tall or more, that should be a massive disadvantage. And it was. When Messi was 13, his body stopped producing growth hormone. A medical condition. Doctors said he might never grow to a normal height. His club in Argentina couldn't afford the treatment. So they let him go. Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world, heard about him and flew him to Spain. The youth coach watched him train for literally 10 minutes and immediately called the director. He said, "Sign this kid right now or I'll pay for his treatment myself." That's how rare Messi was, even at 13. But here's the thing. His height didn't hurt him. It actually became his superpower. Here's why that matters. In football, you score by getting the ball into the other team's net. Simple. But to do that, you have to get past defenders. These are the players whose entire job is to stop you. Most defenders are tall, strong, and physical. So how does a 5'7" guy beat them? His low center of gravity. Think of it like this. A sports car hugs the road better than a truck. It can turn sharper, brake faster, change direction without tipping over. Messi's body works exactly like that. Because he's lower to the ground, he can change direction at full speed without losing balance. Most defenders can't react fast enough. By the time they've adjusted, he's already past them. But that's only part of it. Here's what most people miss about Messi. His brain is faster than his feet. Football happens fast. Incredibly fast. Players are making split-second decisions constantly. Where to run, when to pass, when to shoot. Most players see the field and then decide what to do. Messi already decided before he even got the ball. Scientists have actually studied this. Elite players can predict where the ball is going to go by reading tiny body cues, the angle of a player's shoulder, the direction of their hips. Most pros can do this a little. Messi does it at a level that researchers describe as almost superhuman. He once walked through 6 players to score a goal. Walked. Like he was taking a stroll. Commentators lost their minds. Replays showed he had already changed direction 5 times before most defenders even reacted to the first move. Now let's talk about his left foot. Messi is left-footed in a sport where most players are right-footed. That alone creates problems for defenders because they're less used to defending against it. But Messi's left foot isn't just accurate. It's terrifyingly precise. There's a stat that made professional goalkeepers genuinely uncomfortable. In free kicks, that's when the game stops and a player gets a direct shot at goal. Messi can curl the ball around a wall of players and place it within inches of the corner. Not the general area of the corner. Inches from the post. At this point you might be thinking, okay, he's technically gifted, but so are other players. What actually separates him? And that is a great question. Because here's where it gets interesting. Consistency. Most players have great games and bad games. Messi has great games and average games. That's the difference. Over 20 years at the top level of football, he has maintained a standard that other players can only reach on their best days. He's scored over 800 career goals. That number sounds big, but it doesn't capture it. He's also given more than 300 assists. That's when you pass the ball to someone who then scores. So he's directly involved in over 1,100 goals across his career. In a sport where scoring is hard. Really hard. Games sometimes end 1-0. And then there's the World Cup. For years, people used this against him. They said he couldn't do it on the biggest stage. That he was only great at his club, not for his country. It was the one thing missing from his story. In 2022, at 35 years old, ancient by football standards, he went to Qatar for what everyone assumed was his last World Cup. Argentina hadn't won it in 36 years. He scored 7 goals. He won the Golden Ball for best player of the tournament. And when Argentina won the final, one of the greatest finals ever played, Messi lifted the trophy and an entire country stopped. Just stopped. People were crying in the streets of Buenos Aires at 3 in the morning. That moment mattered because it completed the story. The kid who was too sick to grow. The kid who was let go. Who crossed an ocean. Who carried a nation for 2 decades. And finally got the one thing he was missing. So what makes Messi so good? It's not one thing. It's the combination of a body built perfectly for the sport he plays, a brain that processes the game faster than almost anyone alive, a left foot that belongs in a different category, and a consistency that has lasted longer than most careers even exist. But maybe the real answer is simpler than all of that. He loves football more than he fears failure. And he's been proving that since he was 13 years old. If this video actually made you understand what makes him special, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.